Hey everyone, this video is going to be a recap of the Mastermind event we just had last week. I'm going to do my best to distill down some of the key principles that we learned and that was discussed throughout the event. And I'll start like one by one with some of the speakers. So my partner, Nick West, he started off the day talking about AI. And so when we talk about AI, he showed off an AI bot that we use to answer overflow calls. So that AI bot he showed over, I think it was like 8,000 phone calls. It converted 37% into contacts, meaning somebody calls in, the AI bot sounds like a human, right? And it gathers information, name, age, confirms the state, all that stuff. And it's looking to transfer it back into our call queue. But if it doesn't, it posts it as a lead, as a callback lead. So we showed that off. And he made live calls with AI. And he even deep faked a couple agents that were in attendance and they didn't know they were going to be doing that. So we took a couple calls, recorded calls, used the agent voices. But what we announced at that mastermind was that we're going to have AI bots that use the agent's voice, where we can upload their voice, and every digital BGA agent will have access to their own AI bot in 2025. And one way you can look at it is for customer service, because the AI bots that we're building right now, they're going to be able to go into our agency management system, which has all the carrier information. So agency management is basically all policies that have been submitted that you have all the information there, okay? And so agents, can see their placement rate, they can see their mix of business, all that stuff on demand, right? But we're going to tap into it with AI so it can pull. So if somebody calls in, you have an AI voice bot, or it could be chat on your website or a text bot, right? All that stuff. Somebody calls in, it can pull that information because it's going to have the phone number they're calling in from. If it matches, it'll say, hey, is this so-and-so, right? Is this Susie? And it'll have Susie's information up there. And Susie will say, if they need to change a payment method, or, hey, they missed a payment, what are my options, things like that. We are training the AI bot to do that. We're building it out in our call center right now. And as soon as we get that prompt engineering where it needs to be, that's when we're going to launch it, so that every agent at Digital BGA has an AI customer service bot that can keep business on the books, help you with pending lapses or any sort of lapsed policies. That's the goal. That's what we're working on. Nick showed it off and interacted with AI, and it was a really cool presentation. So that was Nick. The next presentation was my other managing partner, Dante Cantu. So he talked about getting 1% better every day, but he did it through some really interesting data metrics. And I would say the overall takeaway from his presentation, and we talked about it on the YouTube channel before, but he gave our, I'm right now in our call center, okay? That's half of the floor, actually a third of the floor. We have one in Charlotte as well, but we are writing a lot of business. And I mean, we're spending something like 800 grand every single month on leads, on getting calls for our call center agents. So we need to make sure we place a lot of business. And a key driver of that, what we found, and Dante showed this, with all that spend and all that risk that we're taking with agents, is same day pay. Pay today. And we showed the data of what we were doing before we initiated. We took this initiative, I should say, for same day pay. What our metrics look like before with placement rate, and what they look like after, okay? Placement rate kept climbing. It's a big profit maximizer for any agent out there. If you're selling final expense over the phone, you cannot assume that they want the payment to start later, okay? Always assume you're going to pay today, you're going to get the coverage in force, they're going to be covered when they're off of this phone call. Let them tell you that they don't have money today, right? I know a lot of agents that want to disarm their clients by saying, oh, you don't need to pay anything today. Oh, you have a 30-day free look period, all that stuff. That is a cancer to your presentation. You cannot say those things. And a lot of agents' placement rates are in the 60% range, 55% for some agents. And what we found is that most of those agents, in fact, I would say pretty much all those agents, are not doing same-day pay, right? Same-day pay is going to get you where you should be in that 75% range plus of, for placement, okay? Just by making that change. And we had a lot of pushback, right? And we had to overcome some people saying, well, these seniors, they don't have any money. They're on a fixed income. They can't pay today. That's not what we're seeing in the call centers that we have right now. We are at 44% same-day pay throughout our entire call center. The agency that spoke last for the day, they reported their same-day pay numbers. I think it was like 37%. Okay, your customers have money, all right. And if they don't have money today, that should be an indicator. We also talked about that. Well, the agency at the end of the day talked about that, right? If they don't have money today, you need to find out why. Because what happens, if they came up with some financial troubles this month, how come they're not going to have it next month, right? Ask them that. Well, if you have trouble paying today, what makes you think they're going to be able to pay? You're going to be able to pay next month or the month after, or that thing won't come up again. Okay, these are conversations to have to make sure that this policy is enforced for them, because this does nobody any good if this policy isn't active. So it's also a good way to have that conversation with them and get their commitment levels down, So, that was talked about, how they approach when somebody doesn't have payment and how they challenge them in a very, non-confrontational way, but to make sure that they can make that payment so that that policy pays out, okay? So that's a big piece. And we had a lot of agents kind of doubt, like, hey, it's working for them right now, so why would they change this? They can just be a lot more profitable. So a lot of agents got challenged with that. And if there's one key takeaway from, several of the sessions, it's that the same-day pay really, really matters, guys. It's a huge thing that a lot of agents are making a mistake on in their presentation, saying that they can pay 30 days out or however long to coincide with their Social Security billing date. Yes, you can still coincide with Social Security billing. You just get the payment today and then set future draft payments on the Social Security billing dates, okay? So, same-day pay. The last presenters also gave data on their same-day pay that if they got the same-day pay today, right, 94% go in force. 3 days later, it was something less. I think it was low 90s. It goes in force, right? It places. And then they gave data for 2 weeks out. I forget what that data was. And then they gave data for 30 days out. And it was something like 58% placed if they did it 30 days out, all right? That should be telling for you right there. And we gave some metrics. We showed a lot of our data in the call centers about how, same-day pay, affects our placement rate, things like that. And Dante did a very good job at helping agents see that with data, but also the mental side of things, because a lot of agents are very caught up in their own ways and didn't want to do that. So that was the key takeaway from his. The next we had Pepper Pastor. She's an organizational psychologist. She talked about getting through the ups and downs of the business, about, it was really helpful in mindset. So that was a great topic on mindset. She did an amazing job. I think a lot of people are going to be contacting her after this to work with her. After that, I spoke on a lot of initiatives that we're driving, and a couple lead launches, a couple technology launches, including a service that helps with your caller ID spam flags. Right. So we already have a monitoring service that we provide for agents. Digital BGA, but we found a service that will actually do the remediation in real time, and we launched that service as well. So we're launching it within a week or so. It'll be available in the CRM, and basically it's a service that integrates with all the major cell phone carriers, so agents don't have to worry about spam flags. And that was one of the launches. We talked about a couple new reports agents have access to help them generate more business, basically taking the data of their book of business and giving them data on, hey, here's your mix of business in real time. The amount of level business, graded, and guaranteed issue. Here's what healthy looks like. Here's where you're at. You have this at your fingertips now. We have placement rate in there, so you know your placement rate. We put a turning 65 opportunity report. Basically, anybody who you've ever sold, whether they're on the book still or not, you're going to know who they are. If they're within 6 months of turning 65, you're going to know who they are so that you can work with Medicare agents to, well, you can sell the Medicare if you want. Most don't. Most are going to refer it out to a Medicare agent, get paid referral fees. It's a report you can export on a monthly basis, send to a Medicare agent, make sure that they don't sell final expense to your clients, that they reinforce you as the agent, and they can help them, but you can earn off that. And it's a retention play as well, because you better believe that your clients that are turning 65 years old, when they sign up for Medicare, they're going to get asked about final expense, okay? So it's also to protect your book of business as well. So we have that report in AMS that we launched. A couple new lead programs I think I mentioned. I won't get into the details, but Digital BGA knows the details. And okay, so after that, we had an actor. His name is Marshall Allman. So Marshall's been in a lot of TV shows, movies. He teaches an acting school, and he did a very dynamic talk on connecting with people. And that was awesome. That was really cool to see. Somebody from outside of the insurance world, with the lens of acting on it, showing people how to connect. Because we're all performing a script, right? It's not natural for us. Just like actors are, they're performing a script, something that's not their words. And they're in a setting that's not theirs, right? They're on set, and we're usually holed up in our home office having conversations where we don't normally have conversations in front of our desk, right? So it's this we're in this fabricated experience and expected to connect with people when we are not our true authentic selves in that moment. We are true authentic selves when we're, in our natural surroundings. And so how do you deal with that? So he gave us a lot of tools, a lot of exercises, and we're going to be working a lot with him in the future to develop a kind of a course and a curriculum to help people connect more, right? Staying in the present moment, speaking your truth, and really profiling and tuning in on who you're speaking with so that you can effectively communicate and connect with them. So that's going to be something that we're going to be working on for a while with him to build out a structured training course to do that, because the presentation that he made, I loved it, and it was we had a lot of good feedback on it, and I think it can help a lot of people, just connect more with the people that they're speaking with. Last presentation of the day was an agency who runs a remote LOA shop for final expense. They have over 20 agents. They write over $500,000 of premium every single month, and they shared with us data and their processes, what they're saying to keep their placement rate, at scale above 75%, to keep their closing rate. So they work, Facebook, Google, YouTube leads, TikTok, whatever it is, they work a mix of them to keep their closing rate at 10% at a high level. Okay, the processes in place, the data in place. They shared some data and some processes that really challenged a lot of people's beliefs. And I'm glad they shared that. And the way that they're approaching things, it's a fresh take. You can tell it's a fresh take. And I think agents were taking pictures of their slides more than anything I've ever seen before. So they did a fantastic, fantastic job. And I think every agent at Digital BJ needs to watch that one. If I had to pick one, I would say watch theirs and Dante's presentations, and you will absolutely make more money in this business. So there's so they were amazing, and it was just a really good event all in all. It was a smaller event. There was 45 people in the room, but it really, if you've been to our previous events, we've had 200 at some of them. 100 to 200 usually is what we usually do, but we made it an intimate event, capped it out at 45 people. That was the max you can fit in the room. And we did that so that we can have, it's kind of an invitation only type thing. We didn't really announce it, and just internally we did to some digital BGA agents, and it really created a lot of discourse, a lot of Q&A, a lot of people talking and sharing. We had a lot of people just hop up on microphones and start sharing, what their issues were. We, collectively overcome it. Sharing their experiences with certain things. And most of these agents are very high level agents as well, making multiple six figures in profits every single year selling. So it was great to hear from them. And, I think we're going to do this sort of intimate event, 40, 45 people, maybe up to 50 people moving forward, just because we can share a lot more. Attendees will share a lot more and not be scared to ask the tough questions. And there were a lot of tough questions. People were challenging each other, and it was amazing to see. And I think we all learned a lot there. Anyway, it was a great event, and the recordings of the event will be posted into Digital BGA's resources section for Digital BGA agents to watch. If you're a future Digital BGA agent and you see this, the recordings will always be there for you to watch as well. And we may post snippets of some on the YouTube channel. We'll see. But all in all, it's a good event. I hope that some of these key takeaways, at least my key takeaways, were helpful. And yeah, maybe we'll see you at the next Digital BGA Mastermind.